Hey everyone, Val here. I am in my kitchen and I am going to be canning some peaches today. So on Monday, Steve and Zane and I went over to an orchard and we got some peaches. So I have this bag, it's 25 pounds, and then this bag, and they're so big and beautiful. Look how wonderful these peaches are. So I'm going to can some peaches, so we have some peaches for this year when the kids come up to visit, or if we want to make something with peaches or whatever. So I'm going to get everything set up. I do have my canner out. I've gotten a few jars from our storage area, and I'm going to get ready to start the canning process. So let me take you along. I'm using a canning book for canning, and it takes you through the steps for canning. That's the best way to know how long to process this, the different things for. I did tomato sauce last week, but I haven't done peaches in a while, and this is saying that we're going to process them for 30 minutes, and we used to do peaches and pears and apples and all that stuff all the time at home when I was growing up, so I am familiar with that. It has a chart here for the light syrup that you use in it. Now you can use the light, medium, or heavy. 2 cups of sugar per quart of liquid. The medium is 3 cups and the heavy sugar is 4.5 cups. I want little to no sugar in there. It's saying medium with corn syrup. You can substitute corn syrup or honey, medium with honey. So I may actually see if I have some maybe honey, and even cut the sugar back even more. I don't really want sugar in my food. So I'm going to try to see what I can substitute and hope that the syrup will come out good and that the peaches will be okay. Okay, for my syrup it was calling for 2 cups of sugar per quart for light sugar. I want to go extra light sugar. So I have 3 quarts of water in here, and I have 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of the coconut sugar. And that's what I'm going to use for my mixture. I'm going to just pour it into the water and let it dissolve in the water and let it get warm, and I'll come back and check on it as it's cooking up. So once it comes to a boil, I believe we need to just slow boil it, make sure it's mixed up good for about 5 or 6 minutes. So while this is getting warm, I'm going to turn it down on a medium heat just to let it get warm, medium low, and I'm going to start my peaches. So what it's saying to do with the peaches is to drop them in the boiling water for about 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then bring them over into ice water, and what'll happen is the skins should peel right off. So that's going to be my next process. So let me get my peaches ready. I need to get something to dip the peaches out of the water and to bring them over to this water. So let me get that started. Okay, so we're going to do our first 2 peaches, and it looks like I may need a little more water in there. So we're going to do them for about 1 minute. I do always keep my water in my teapot going, just in case I need more water. I'm going to fill my teapot back up. I know you guys are fogged up a little bit there, but that's about 30 seconds in. Alright, that's our 1 minute timer. So I'm just going to scoop these 2 peaches out. I'm going to bring them over here to the ice water. Put them in the ice bath. So what it's saying is now I should be able to slip the skin straight off these, that they should just kind of peel, the skin should peel off, and it does seem to be doing that. Might have needed another minute, but these are cling-free peaches, so I can just turn the peach after I cut it in half, and then we're going to just peel the skin off these. And let me grab a bucket for my skins and my pits. That comes off pretty easy. Now my hands are clean. I am working with clean hands. So maybe this, because these peaches were so large, they might have been able to stay in another, probably about 30 seconds. The skin's coming off pretty easily on them. I'm just using my knife to pull the skin off. And if there's a bad spot, this one does have a bad spot, I'm going to cut it out. So there I have my half a peach that's skinned. That didn't take long at all. And because these peaches are so large, I am going to cut them into about 3 pieces. That piece is kind of big. I'm going to cut them into pieces. I'm going to, instead of canning these in halves, I'm going to can them in slices. So I think that'll work better for what I'm doing. So I'm going to do this process with all of these peaches. And let me get this one cut up. But I am just going to do peach slices, and that's what they're going to look like. That worked out really nice. I have one more. Again, just going to cut it in half, twist it so that it comes apart. The seed will come out nice and easy because these are the ones that don't have the cling, and the skin is peeling off really, really easily. I have never done peaches like this before, that you dip them. I know that you can do that with tomatoes and some other things, but I've never done it with peaches, and I like this. It makes it much easier than having to peel all of these. And then I'm just going to cut it in slices and put it into my jar, into my bowl here. Now, I'm not going to put, it says you can put a mixture of, I believe it is vinegar or something to keep them from browning. I'm not going to worry too much about that because I'm going to try to get through these as quickly as I can, and I don't think they should have much browning. So we'll see how that works out. So let me continue on. I'm going to wash my hands off, do my next couple of peaches, and then we'll get them in the syrup. Let me keep my syrup on low and keep it stirred up so that it's mixed up nicely, and we'll do our next step. I have all the peaches peeled. As you can see, it made 2 really large bowls full of peaches. So I've got my counter set up. This is going to be where my bottles go to fill my bottles. I've got my cup for dipping into the simple syrup, and I did switch the simple syrup out. I actually have little more than 3 quarts in here, and I only used 2 cups of sugar. The coconut sugar turned everything brown, and I didn't really want really dark brown peaches, so I dumped that out. It wasn't going to work for me. I tasted it. It wasn't really how I wanted it to taste. So I stopped that process and I started again and only did 2 cups of the regular white sugar with more than 3 quarts of the water. So I have a hot bath here for my jars. I have a hot bath for my lids and a hot bath for my rings. So I got the canner set up, and it's warming up now. So we're going to have everything hot packed So let's get started. Take my bottle and dip it into my hot water to get it warm. Turn my burners down on low. I'm going to put 7 of the lids and 7 of the rings in the water. 1, 2, 3, 4. And make sure they're separated so I don't end up with 2 on one jar. 5, 6, 7. Alright. It's going in that one. And 2, 4, 6, 7. I have a clean wet cloth to wipe off the rims of my jars. And I have a cloth to hold the jar while I tighten the rings because the jars are going to be hot. This little device has a magnet on the end. It'll get the lids and the rings out of the hot water for me. Alright, first hot jar. Squeeze those in as best as I can. Alright. Alright, and then I'm going to take a knife and put it down the sides of the jars to try to get up as much of the air out as I can. That peach is not in there all the way. So he's pretty big. I'm going to try to find a smaller one to stuff in there. There we go. That way all the peaches are covered. And that's my first one. So the water line is up to just below the rim there, the edge of the jar. I'm going to put it in my water. This is boiling now. Just going to cut it down just a little bit. And I'm going to finish up. So let me do the 7 will fit in here, so let me do the other 6 and I'll be back. We finished the first 7 quarts and they're in the canner. The canner is just about ready to boil. It took like a whole bowl of the peaches, so we have 1 more bowl left to process. Should make about 7 more quarts. I'm going to get 7 more canning jars and wash them up and have them ready to go. Pull me some more lids and some more rings. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lids left in there, so I got to grab a couple more. And we'll do another 7 quarts. I'm sure that's going to be an easy 7 quarts there. Alright, let's keep this going. I finished processing all of the peaches, so I ended up with 14 quarts and I have 1 pint. And I think they're looking really good. So I'm happy with my work for today. I am going to head into the craft room and work on some teddy bears that I've been working on, the little teddy bears that I make for from the Heart Stitchers. And then Steve and I'll have dinner. I'm not sure what I'm cooking yet, something with chicken breast. So that'll be it for today. I just wanted to put together this little canning video. Thank you all for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to. And I'll catch y'all on the next video. Bye now.